You guys, there are moments that make you scream. And then there are moments that make you go completely silent. And what happened that night in El Paso? It didn't just make people cheer. It made thousands of people feel something so deep they didn't even know how to react. Because in the middle of all the lights, all the music, all the overwhelming energy of the BTS Arirang World Tour, Park Jimin did something so small, and yet so powerful, that it completely changed the atmosphere of the entire stadium. And the craziest part? Almost no one saw it coming. Because everything started like it always does. Loud. Explosive. The kind of energy that hits you before the music even begins. The crowd in El Paso was already electric, voices layered over each other, light sticks glowing like a galaxy, that familiar pulse of anticipation running through every single person in that space. You could feel it in your chest. That thump-thump rhythm that matches the bass before the first beat drops. And then, the lights shift. The stage comes alive. And Jimin steps out. And just like that, everything else fades. You know that feeling, right? When someone doesn't even need to do anything yet, but your eyes are already locked on them. That was him. Effortless. Magnetic. There's something about his presence that doesn't demand attention. It pulls it. And the performance starts, sharp movements, fluid transitions, every step perfectly aligned with the music. He's powerful. He's controlled. He's completely in his element. And the crowd. Losing it. Screaming his name, reaching out, trying to capture every second because moments like this don't last. But here's the thing. Even in the middle of all that intensity, there was something else happening. Something quieter. Something you wouldn't notice unless you were really, really paying attention. Because Jimin, he wasn't just performing that night. He was observing. Between movements. Between beats. His eyes kept drifting, scanning the crowd, not in a rushed way, not in a distracted way. But in this soft, intentional way. Like he was searching. And honestly, can we talk about that? Because why did it feel like he was looking for something? Or someone? And just when you think it's nothing. Just a random glance, just a passing moment. This is where everything changes. There's a pause in the performance. Not a full stop. Just a small break between songs. The kind where artists usually catch their breath, smile, wave, maybe say a few words before jumping back in. The crowd is still loud. Still buzzing. Still riding that high. But Jimin. He slows down. And you notice it immediately. Because while everything around him is still moving fast, he isn't. He steps closer to the edge of the stage. Just a little. Just enough. And his expression shifts. Subtle. But real. And this is the moment. The one that no one was ready for. Because out there, in the crowd, surrounded by thousands of voices, thousands of lights, thousands of emotions, there was one person. An elderly army. Not jumping. Not screaming at the top of their lungs. Just standing there. Holding a light stick. Watching. Present. And maybe most people wouldn't have noticed. Maybe most people would have missed it completely. But not him. Because Jimin sees things differently. He feels things differently. And somehow, in the middle of all that chaos, his eyes find them. And everything stops. Not the music. Not the crowd. But him. And when Jimin stops, you feel it. There's this ripple, this almost invisible shift in energy. Like something important is about to happen. And honestly, did you feel that too? That sudden quiet inside your chest? Because even if you didn't know what was happening yet, you knew it mattered. He looks at them. Really looks. Not a passing glance. Not a quick acknowledgement. But something deeper. Something intentional. And then, he smiles. Soft. Gentle. Completely different from the bright, playful smiles we usually see. This one feels personal. And just when you think that's already enough. Just when you think that moment alone could carry everything. He does something no one expected. He straightens slightly. His posture shifts. And then, he raises his hand. Slowly. Deliberately. And he gives a salute. You guys. A salute. And it's not dramatic. It's not exaggerated. It's quiet. Respectful. Sincere. And for a second, the entire world feels like it holds its breath. Because what? Did that just happen? Did he really just do that? And here's the part that hits the hardest. He's not saluting the crowd. He's not playing it off as part of the performance. He's looking directly at them. That one person. That elderly army. And in that moment, it feels like nothing else exists. No stage. No cameras. No noise. Just him. And them. And something unspoken passing between them. Respect. Gratitude. Connection. All in one small gesture. And the crowd. Delayed reaction. Because it takes a second to process. But when it hits. Oh, it hits. You hear it. That shift from screaming to something else. Something softer. Some people gasping. Some people crying. Some people just frozen. Because how do you even react to something like that? How do you process a moment that feels so pure it almost hurts? And just when you think that's it. Just when you think that was already too much to handle. He doesn't move right away. He holds it. That eye contact. That connection. For just a second longer than expected. And that second? It changes everything. Because now it's not just a gesture. It's a moment. A real, human moment. And you can feel it spreading. Through the crowd. Through the space. Through every single person watching. And honestly, can we talk about how rare that is? In a stadium that big. In a performance that intense. For something so small. To feel so massive? That's not normal. That's not something you can plan. That's something that just happens. Because of who he is. Because of how he sees people. And just when you think you've fully taken it in, he lowers his hand. Slowly. Gently. And then, he smiles again. But this time, it's different. Warmer. Lighter. Like he knows exactly what that moment meant. Like he knows it reached further than just one person. And the music starts again. The performance continues. The energy rises back up. The lights flash. The crowd roars. But something has changed. And you can feel it. Because now, every movement feels deeper. Every expression feels more real. Like that one moment unlocked something. And you can't unsee it. You can't unfeel it. Because it wasn't just a performance. It was something more. Something unforgettable. And even as everything moves forward. Even as the show keeps building, getting louder, more intense. There's still a part of you. Stuck in that moment. That quiet pause. That single salute. That connection that somehow cut through everything else. And just when you think that was the peak of the night. Just when you think nothing could possibly top that feeling. Something else begins to build. Slowly. Almost unnoticed at first. Because Jimin, he keeps glancing back. Not constantly. Not obviously. But enough. Enough for you to realize. He hasn't let it go either. And that realization? It hits just as hard as the moment itself. Because it means it wasn't just something he did and moved on from. It stayed with him. Just like it stayed with everyone else. And now, you're watching the rest of the performance differently. Every step. Every look. Every breath. It all feels connected. Like that one small gesture rewrote the entire night. And you're left sitting there, feeling everything all at once. Trying to understand how something so simple could mean so much. And even now, even as the lights continue to flash, as the music swells again, there's still this quiet feeling lingering in the air. Like the moment hasn't fully ended yet.